This video was brought to you by my wonderful supporters on Patreon. Please help me buy groceries. Hello everyone and welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name's Noah. Today I'm going to be doing a Q&A for some number of subscribers. Don't really know for sure what it'll be. It's 48,000 at the time of recording, but you freaks just won't stop following me. Hopefully this will help you get to know me a little better and for me ease some of the stress that I have at the idea of actually having to produce a real video. And no, this video is not clickbait. I will be talking about Leftist YouTube for a good chunk of the first part of this video because I got some questions about that. So I think this might be a good opportunity for me to clarify some of the things I said in the last video, as well as mention the channels that I missed, because I missed a lot, and I've since found a bunch of fantastic ones thanks to all your recommendations. Yes, I read every single comment, all 6,000 of them. My brain is dying. With these channels, I will also touch on the concept of a second wave of LeftTube, which others before me have discussed, and I hope this might revive that conversation. I'm branding my Q&A this way because the algorithm is a big fan of LeftTube content and thumbnails, so we're killing a bunch of birds with one stone here. Basically, we're crushing a nest full of eggs and baby birds with a boulder. There are 152 questions in total, and I'm going to answer all of them, so get comfortable if you like being comfortable, if that's something you're into. They're also time-stamped, so if you just want to skip to your question, go right ahead. Okay. Comrades asks, what are your thoughts on the state of leftist YouTube or leftism in general? So, due to my extremely American viewpoint, I can't really speak on leftism in general, as in leftism in the world, in any sort of informed capacity. I'm working on it. But in America, given the markedly conservative center line of our population and politicians, leftism in the form of socialist, communist policy, whatever that would mean here, seems a little far away. Something over town window. At least when it comes to electoral politics, which is our bread and butter. It's our awesome system. Bernie felt like the last moment of widespread leftist cohesion, and without a guidepost, we're all just kind of goofing around. I know that sounds pretty doomer, but I feel like it's not a bad idea to recognize the limitations of a movement ahead of time so that resources can be redirected towards more effective causes. Full disclosure, I've never organized in my life. It's something I want to start doing, but if you're someone who does that, let me know how things are looking on the ground, and if I'm being a dumbass by saying what I just said, I could look it up, but I'm me lazy socialist. But like, we're so far to the right. We're trying to get anti-vaxxers to stop drinking horse piss. We've got Dog the Bounty Hunter camping outside of Planned Parenthood buildings with a stethoscope and a Glock. It's a bit of a mess. However, the good news is that younger generations, due to our comprehensively shitty lives, are super down with the idea of socialism, and as time passes, people die. Discussions of developing a wide-reaching class consciousness are on the table. Finally, sort of. If the table is like a huge table with a bunch of red uncles squirting everywhere about AOC being Stalin, class consciousness would be in a little gravy boat right at the edge. And it's about to fall off and shatter and spill gravy and glass shards everywhere, but it's there. To the other part of the question regarding leftism on YouTube, I think what I'm tending to focus on right now is how it's gaining immense popularity and momentum, and just asking the question, how can this be captured? How can this be used for something greater? There's no denying the large audience demographic for entertaining, thought-provoking, left-leaning content. How much of that transfers into organization, political action, and real-world change remains to be seen. That's actually the topic of my next video, so subscribe if you aren't. It'll be an actual real video. Here's a sneak peek of the thumbnail. Look at that. That's fun. I'm sure no one will get mad at me for that. I think a good general step forward might be if we reframed the passive consumption of left-leaning entertainment content into the first step towards the active pursuit to learn more about what can be done, how to get involved, and what theory is good to read, before capitalism grinds all of our morals into a pink paste and then does the exact same thing to the entire planet. Damn! If you want a head start, I've got you covered. In the description, there's a link to the official new LeftTube playlist. It's a hand-picked gourmet selection of some very wonderful leftist content. The first few videos are some of the best critiques of the Breadtube movement that I think anyone should watch if they're wanting to learn more about this space and how it can be improved. And then the rest are some fantastic videos and resources from creators that aren't usually included under the Breadtube label, which is dumb and why we should stop using that label because they are amazing. Also, if I should swap out any of those videos with a different video from the same creator, Let me know. Now I'm going to read off the full list of channels. St. Andrewism, Second Thought, Daniel Torres, Feek the Signifier, Marxist Paul, Khadija Mbo, Jose, Intellectual Media, Ugopnik, Town of Tawia, Vicky 1999, Tom Nicholas, Dr. Skeleman, Tiana, Anarch, Bad Empanada, Adam Something, Echo Gecko, Luna Oi, Mexi, Samantha Lux, T Noir, Curio, James Somerton, Chill Goblin, The Storyteller, Thought Slime, Prolicult, Jack Saint, Hey It's Vadim, Post Comprehension, Shan Spear, Zero Books, The Queer Kiwi, Zoe B, The Late Michael Brooks, Angie Speaks, Step Back History, K&, Skittles, CCK Philosophy, Beau of the Fifth Column, Kristen Leo, Radical Reviewer, Jamie Dodger, and some more news. They're not all leftists. Some are newer than others, and I'm sure some of them would probably disagree on some things. You've got some anarchists, some Marxist, Leninists, feminists, educational, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but they focus on generally left-leaning, anti-capitalist, pro-liberation ideas and explore them in interesting and sometimes more concrete and direct ways. My next video will profile some of these creators more fully, but since this is a Q&A and I'm lazy and I'm going on vacation in 4 days and I need this to be done, just take my word for it. They're very good, and many of them are smaller creators. So if we can make them big, that would be good. They're all linked below, thank you. Due to this focus more on the practical applications of leftist thought, like encouraging organization, critical thinking, and reframing the scope of our politics to include the world outside of white liberal America and Western Europe, I, and by extension everyone else on the internet, because apparently I speak for every leftist, am categorizing them as second wave LeftTube. This term was first used in a great video by Daniel Torres to describe a necessary response to the shortcomings of the original Breadtube movement. The first wave, if you will. It's okay if you won't though. But the second wave is here. It's been here. We just haven't made it known, I guess. So that's what this is. I just want everyone to explore, okay? There's so much out there. Diversify your brain's portfolio. Another observation of mine regarding LeftTube is this recurring theme of aiming our line of fire towards leftists that are not left enough, or doing Patreon crimes, or buying real estate. I think valid criticism is crucial, and there's plenty of that going on. Those first few videos in the playlist are just a couple examples. Then you have channels like Unlearning Economics, which to me is like an S-tier example of very valuable critique. The more of that we have, the better. But what's also important is recognizing that every creator has a different role to play in this process. They've built audiences with varying perspectives, making things that they like to make and speaking on things they believe in.
Uh-oh, that was a lie. Sorry, Lauren.
This doesn't mean you have to celebrate and endorse every one of those roles, though. For example, I didn't recommend the streamer Destiny in my last video, and as much as his fans might like to say that I said this, that doesn't make him not a leftist. It just means de-radicalization is not something that I'm personally focused on. On that note, neither is being a capitalist, but it means you can choose who to watch and who to uplift as being helpful and engaging to you. LeftTube is an audience. LeftTube is you. On top of this, most people online are entertainers first, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, especially if their form of entertainment has a conscience and makes you think and makes you question your own beliefs. And if they've never postured themselves as some sort of revolutionaries, then why should they be held to that standard? Exposing massive audiences to leftist ideas is a thing we should endorse. Hassan got a house. Okay, whatever. He's not a factory owner. I just went to Harvard to get a mathematics degree so I can determine using calculus and the Pythagorean theorem how much money Sean, H. Bomber Guy, and ContraPoints really make per video, since they only do 2 a year, and if we divide by the tier 3 reciprocal. Please go outside. Why are you defending millionaires, Noah? Why are you simping for the Borgies? Okay, look, I'm just wary of Twitter discourse that has the potential to send large, impactful creators into doomer cancel culture grift spirals. So maybe I just need to log off too. Actually, yeah, that's probably the answer to this problem. There is, of course, the classic Bernie Sanders isn't even a socialist, he's a social democrat. Okay, true, but he also almost won the Democratic presidential nomination as a socialist, don't get mad at me please, in the United States of America. The United States of America, I'm saying it one more time for emphasis, and that got the ball rolling for a lot of people to look into leftist politics, myself included. So if you're going to pick that battle, do so while keeping your audience in mind. The further left the space of discussion is, the more those kinds of conversations can be had in productive ways, and that's good, and we need more people in those spaces. But we don't get them there by snark tweeting at Breadtube fans that their fave is a fascist. If we're talking about it from a wider lens, which is basically the lens I've been using, whether that's a good idea or not, there are more effective ways of approaching this to bring about widespread change. in my opinion. But keep doing well-made video critiques of big creators. Not only are they very helpful, but they do well in the algorithm. Hint, hint, hint. Look, Kitty's here. We are besties. One thing that gets brought up every once in a while is the fact that LeftTube is too white. All of these videos here have covered this better than I ever could. I'd recommend watching them. Let me briefly acknowledge that I am white, so when I'm talking about this, I'm doing so with strictly outside observations of YouTube as a media platform. But there are many topics of conversation on this front. I think the barriers of entry and success for Black creators are complex and interwoven into the platform and the internet generally. YouTube audiences are mostly white, the content is English and made by American and Western European creators for white consumption. Specifically, leftist YouTube audiences have been built on the rejection of right-wing content, so not only is that an especially white audience demographic, but many of the issues which have been discussed throughout the history of Breadtube have not gone much further into exploring topics of race than, look at these racists, they're bad. However, all of that and the phrase LeftTube is too white only applies if we're using the extremely narrow and frankly dated category of Breadtube. So we need to stop doing that. We need to redefine, we need a new name, rebrand, new type of carb, because there are so many incredible Black left-leaning creators doing amazing work. Some have huge followings, others are smaller, but rarely are either group talked about as being members of Breadtube. This won't solve the platform's inherent problems regarding representation, which I mentioned earlier, obviously, but if we can somehow transfer the gigantic, generally left-leaning audiences of people like ContraPoints, H-Bomber Guy, Sean, Hassan, and so on and so forth, to these creators which they will probably really like, then we should try to do that. I think it's definitely possible. So start by checking out some of the creators I mentioned. They're in the description. Okay. Lastly, I will briefly touch on Debate Bros discourse. I don't want to, but I kind of have to. I dug myself a bit of a hole in my last video. Much of the criticism I received was with regards to my speaking so highly of Vosh. Vosh is good, actually. Criticism from one side was, hey, that guy says some extremely fucked up things.
Black people have some stupid fucking opinions on race. Yeah, absolutely. Fuck these people.
The Middle East would be calmer if they succeeded and obliterated Israel, if they nuked it and wiped it off the map. I have yet to hear a convincing moral or legal argument as to why possession of child pornography should be illegal.
Bruh.
He's had some awful takes and cultivates an audience of uncritical, parasocial, neoliberal, imperialist demons. I don't know what half of those words mean. But from the other side, criticism from, for example, Destiny fans was that Destiny should have been included if Vosh was. After all, Vosh and Hassan and every other leftist streamer wouldn't even exist, wouldn't even have been born without Destiny's influence. No content creators have done more to de-radicalize potential alt-righter guys than Destiny. You know what? You're both probably right. I should have been more thorough in my research of criticism of Vosh, and maybe I shouldn't have included either. So all I'm gonna say about this particular brand of gamer, streamer, debater is that if you watch them and you enjoy it and you feel like you're learning something and getting some good rhetoric under your belt, that's great. Do what you love. If they convince you to not be a white nationalist in an online debate, that's great, and I'm happy for you. But I would also encourage you to recognize that content creators are just some person online. Same with me, same with whoever else you watch. They may be skilled, smart, and good at making content, but that doesn't mean they're always right, and you don't have to defend them as if they are. In just the few small run-ins I've had with Vosh fans and my comments defending him from criticism, it is abundantly clear that the worship factor is present in many of these people. Like, nothing he says can be wrong, and everything bad he's ever said can be explained within the context of the 8-hour VOD I just linked you, so go watch that and then come back and tell me he's racist. It's just unreasonable behavior, it seems like to me. Does he get taken out of context sometimes? Yes. Does he push for and promote generally left-leaning ideas? Yeah. Do some of the things he said in the past make him irredeemable as a leftist political figure? I don't know. All I'm saying is, watch everything critically and actually listen to your favorite streamers' mortal enemies' arguments using your own brain, not while they're nitpicking the criticisms in real time on stream. This goes for fans of any creator, obviously. And if someone doesn't like your person because they said something super fucked up, don't scream at them that it was out of context. Just move on. They'll be alright. Okay, that is me putting the nail in the coffin of my role in the Debate Bro discourse. Please leave me alone. I hope that answers your question, comrades. And now we can begin the Q&A. So if you came here for your favorite YouTuber, feel free to leave. This is just going to be me talking about myself. On YouTube, when subscriber milestones are reached, subscribers are rewarded with narcissism. Press the like button on the way out, though, if you don't mind. That'd be cool. Okay, Q&A begin. What got you into editing/YouTube? Is this something you want to make a full-time career? My first experience with editing was in around 2010, using After Effects for GoPro, snowboarding clips, gaming montages, and other stuff like that. I guess you could also include my earliest sketches as an 8-year-old using the in-camera editing process. Those are up on my channel still. People keep saying that's unsafe to do, but I don't know why. I'm not a child anymore. I'm a big boy. I've been a YouTube editor for a few years now, working mostly with Noel and TMG. He found me when I used to do comedy sketches on Twitter, saw that I made visualizers, then hit me up to do some tour visuals, then YouTube videos, and yeah, here I am. I do want to make my own channel a full-time career. On that note, my Patreon almost covers my groceries, so if we could bump that up to medical debt and V-Bucks budget, that'd be super cool. What is it that turned you into a leftist or left-leaning in general? My parents were left-leaning. I was an Obama-Biden middle schooler. I remember he got elected on my birthday, November 4th, 2008. It was right around the time I learned how to connect my Xbox to the internet, and when you did that, there was voices on the other side of the Halo games. But this made it a gradual step for me to support Bernie when he ran in 2016. That's when I started listening to Chapo, Trap House, and my online leftist journey began. I only really got into it recently though, when my friend Kent sent me an H-Bomber Guy video. After watching that, I dove headfirst into LeftTube, and now I'm reading theory. Look at this. You could kill a horse with this. If this falls out of your bag while you're going to the bathroom on a plane, that shit's going down. So thanks, Kent. This video would not have been made without that Discord message. Everybody type thanks, Kent, in the comments. I love it when you guys do that. Gay? Inshallah? Straight. But I love what y'all are doing. Keep that shit up. Shout out. When are we gonna get a Ween show part 3? Your old videos are amazing. Probably not until I can get an HBO Max contract or something like that. Those videos were extremely intensive and difficult to produce, taxing on me mentally, physically, spiritually. How would you describe yourself politically? Obviously, you're a lefty, but what kind? I have been advised against branding myself with a political ideology at this time, so no comment. But to be honest, I just haven't read enough to have anything meaningful to say. What's your favorite film? Also, can you say hi Tara again? She would appreciate it. Hi Tara again. She would... okay, sorry. What's up, Tara? Big fan. Also, can we take a moment to appreciate the intro to her last video? My favorite films are Fight Club, Breaking Bad, and American Psycho. I just love what the main characters are all about. I totally identify with them. I think they're cool guys and what we should all strive to be as masculine boys and men. Just kidding. I can't really choose one, so I'll just list my favorite directors. How about that? Stan Krimbik, Hayao Mitsuki, Dennis Villeneuve, Wonka Wai, Paul Tumnus Underson, Bong Joon-ho, Chris Nolan, Akira Kurosawa, March Scorch, bisexual lighting come with actual bisexuality? Straight. I will continue to appropriate bi-lighting for as long as my favorite color combination is pink and blue. A second channel, eh? This was about me saying I'd do a Q&A on a second channel, but I just changed my mind, decided to post it on the main. But who knows what the future may have in store. I need a place to shitpost other than my Twitter. Milk or cereal first? I'm a bit unorthodox when it comes to cereal consumption. I just pour the cereal dry into my mouth and then chew it up and swallow it. If I make it through that process without choking and passing out, I finish it off with a nice cold glass of whole milk. I don't eat cereal that often. Pineapple on pizza? I'm not one to judge the choices people make in life as long as they make them in the confines of their bedroom and keep that ideology away from my kids. Just kidding. Pineapple on pizza is fine. What's your favorite kind of music? Also, what artists, genres, and songs are your favorite? I always forget to listen to music, which sounds weird, but then I remember to listen to it and I go, oh shit, yeah, that's dope. I really like jungle, soul, some metal, lots of house, hip-hop, some rock-y type stuff, Radiohead, I don't know. Have you ever had an anti-social justice warrior phase? Nope. The closest I ever got to that was liking some of Jungding Parkson's lectures, like, clean your room, be a big good boy. I was too busy with sports while I was in school, so I didn't really watch that much YouTube, to be honest, but right when sports ended is when I started listening to Chapo, so great timing, boys. You are really funny. How? What tips would you give to someone who wants to become funnier? And also, your mustache looks cool. Thanks very much. To be honest, I still don't even know really what a joke is or how to write one. I would just say if comedy is something you want to do, then watch a lot of it, immerse yourself in it, familiarize yourself with the pacing, the different styles, how people talk about things, their punchlines, blah, blah, blah. Same thing if you want to be a YouTube person that does funny stuff. Watch the good ones, see what they do that you like, and then play off of that. My basic premise of what humor is when you just say something that's a little weird. What kind of impact would you like to see your channel have on YouTube or the internet at large? Do you plan to fill a niche or be more more general variety, or somewhere in between. Unite the online left, explore its weaknesses, highlight its strengths, bridge gaps in miscommunication, and solve all its flaws. So basically something that's impossible and will never happen. But you know, all you can do is try. That's just what I'm interested in right now though, and that could change. I've needed a break from deep diving into the sick freaks on TikTok, but maybe once my mental health can handle it, I'll go back and do some of that. Who knows? Your personal favorite and least favorite videos you've made and why. Personal favorite, Banjo Bob, released October 26, 2007. I think it's a wonderful exploration of characters, how they interact with different interests, and what can be achieved when you simplify your life's goals into striving towards pure happiness and living for experience. My least favorite video is basically every video, because as soon as I upload them, I immediately have 1,000 things that I want to change and do differently about them, and it's something I'm working on. So, if you and your partner both had identical twins and you both accidentally slept with each other's identical twins, how would you feel? Say, for the sake of argument, that neither of you knew the other had a twin. Thanks in advance. What you don't know won't hurt you until you do know it, and then I'd probably say, that's weird. How to get started with making videos. Can you begin with an iPhone? What is your scripting and editing process like? To get started, just think of some stuff you want to talk about and then film it and upload it. Once you do that a few times, you'll get used to the process and what you need to do to change things, to improve, and so on. Basically, your first 100 videos will be pretty bad. That's how mine were. I'm really lucky to have been able to practice a lot over the years, but it's never too late to get started. YouTube's viewer base grew by a lot over the past year or two, and it'll probably only keep growing. When you're small, it helps to get feedback from people that you know, so posting it on social media, if you use that, is helpful, or just sending it to friends. My personal light bulb moment was discovering the Breadtube subreddit, so if you have interests that have communities formed around them, see if you can explore them, learn all that you can, then bring value to others. You can absolutely begin with an iPhone, but audio quality is the most important thing, so getting a cheap microphone is usually worth it. My scripting and editing processes are both nightmares, the former being worse than the latter. I never really gave much effort when writing in school other than to hit the word count and plug in some unrelated sources, but doing YouTube has pushed me to relearn the reading and writing process. Lots of outlines, writing of scripts and scrapping them, and piecing together chunks of stuff into some form of a final draft. So just make stuff that you enjoy making, and if you want to make that a thing, just keep making the things. Tattoo tour? Roses, Poseidon, Roman numes, or a ladder depending on how far away you are. That's my last name in Thai. I'm a quarter Thai, and that's the Celtic tree of life kind of guy. Do you know if babies poop in the womb? No, but I will ask the next baby I meet. What are your plans for the future with this channel? If you've thought of anything yet, of course. I'm so glad I found your channel. You're rad. Well, thanks very much. I sort of answered this in question 14. If you want to skip back to that. But honestly, I'm only thinking 1 or 2 videos ahead. I'm really bad at long-term planning, so we'll just see what happens, I guess. You think you'll do more commentary or essay/media analysis stuff? Also, is Noel cool? I can't imagine he's an asshole, but I'm curious. I really like essays, and if I do commentary again, it'll basically just be an essay in disguise. I think most good commentary involves at least a little bit of scripting, but they're very sneaky about it. Noel is cool. He's a super great person to work with. The fact that he even reached out to me as such a small creator is something I'll always be thankful for, and very lucky, I think. And I think other creators who have worked with him would probably agree with that. Do you like hot dogs? And if so, why? Have a good day, sir. I think they're all right. I think if you put a bunch of stuff on them, they can be good. What's the type of one that has cream cheese on there or something? Very good. That is busting. I don't really know why, though. I don't know the answer to that. You have a good day as well, Hopscotch. You earned it, my man. Finally, just got the right eyes on your content. Happy and proud for you. Enjoy the sunshine. Don't have any questions, just want to congratulate. Enjoy the sunshine is a very lovely way of putting it. I appreciate the words, and hopefully the stuff I make keeps not being bad. So, thank you. What's the inspiration behind the mustache? I like the way it looks. Favorite kind of animal? Cat. What's your take on morality? Which one is more justifiable to you? Relativism or objectivism? I have no idea what those are. Sorry. I just wake up every day and think to myself, okay, let's be a nice guy. When? Right now. Can you describe a time when someone disagreed with your artistic vision? Working with people, this happens pretty often. I've got used to the process of just doing revisions and stuff. But one example that might be helpful is a YouTube video I edited for Cody Co a while ago called That's Cringe Cheap Wrestler. Basically, it was my first edit for the biggest channel I'd edited for, so I went super hard making it me, fast-paced, lots of edits and sound effects. I just totally pimped it out. When I sent it back to Cody, he thought it was great, so then it got released, and I just absolutely got shit on on by a lot of people, many of his fans. The reason being it was just such a massive jump in styles from Cody's usual videos. So this was an audience of people disagreeing with my vision, basically. And besides feeling like shit for a little while, it was a good learning experience, I thought. It allowed me to see that when collaborating with others, keeping an audience in mind is extremely important. Like, where is what you are making gonna go? And who's going to see it, and what are they going to be thinking? I ask these questions now usually when I'm doing freelance stuff. It also applies to my own videos, to be honest. How would you go about setting the scene for the opening of a horror story / film? Something in the woods with some fog by a lake. That's all I got for you, sorry. Not based on view count and not necessarily on just your channel, but on other people's videos as well. Which one of your previous projects do you consider your best work and why? See my answer to question 15. What is one of your favorite films and what about it do you like best? Okay, I don't have a favorite film, but what just came to mind is this movie Dogtooth, directed by Yorgos Lanthimos. Like, it's just bizarre film, and when the random spurts of violence happen, they're just extremely jarring and juxtaposed with the weird, fucked up humor of what goes on with that family. I don't know. That's just what came to mind. Great movie. Music recommendations? I guess I had a lot of questions. I'll stop now. No worries, Danny. I'm happy to help. See my answer to question 11. Thanks. Do you got any hobbies, and if so, what are they? Also, if you read, what books are you reading now, and which ones do you recommend? I like gaming. I like going on long walks. I play League of Legends, which is just disgusting, and I should be ashamed, I know. Movies and anime are good, although I don't watch them as much as I'd like to. I'm currently on a research reading binge, and I'm kind of reading all of these books at once, which isn't very efficient, but for some reason my brain has to do it this way. Not a question, but thanks for introducing me to RM Brown's channel. I think your leftist creator video has been super helpful for us viewers and the creators you featured. You are very welcome. RM Brown is a channel that I honestly watch every day, so he's hilarious. This isn't really a question, it's more of a request, but as someone with similar political views to you, I feel like there isn't enough organizing on the left. I love leftist content creators, but I feel like there is no focus at all on helping people organize. For example, interviewing people who are associated with leftist organizations or political movements and having them give tips for people all over the world, not just the US, who want to start something politically. I found out about you recently, but I love your content and I think you will grow fast, and having this content would be amazing. Random question though, how old are you? Thank you for the nice words. I am 23 years old, and I love your main question because after looking into this a little bit, I completely agree with you. The lack of a push to organize is pretty glaring at this point, but it can be solved by just bringing attention to it and uplifting smaller channels who do a better job of this. I am once again referring back to this amazing video by YouTuber Daniel Torres. We can push further left and establish a movement beyond entertainment. Some of the videos in that playlist might be helpful, but people in the comments, if you know any channels that do a good job of what the commenter asked, then let them know. What's your favorite food? What's your perfect sandwich? There's a deli in Tacoma, Washington called MSM. I get one sandwich there. I forget what it's called, but it's fire. I like French dip too, and Jersey Mike's Club Sub Mike's Way with banana peppers. Did you grow up as leftist? If not, when did you start becoming a leftist person? See my answer to question number 2. How do you take care of your fabulous mustache? I just trim it, honestly. I sometimes use this conditioner stuff called beard butter. That's not a sponsor, so please don't buy it until they sponsor me. Just kidding, they're good. But besides that, it does pretty well on its own. Sometimes I'll fuck up and trim one side too short, and then I have to correct it, and then that side's too short, and then it gets, obviously it becomes a problem, so I have to shave it off. Is there a project you would like to do for your channel but don't have the time or resources? I'm really short-term focused, so I can't really say for anything like this, but I do want to do this full time with Patreon, so hopefully I can get to a certain place where I can spend more time on videos, get stuff out faster, and also donate. I want to do fundraiser probably over a certain threshold. If I make it, I'll donate or something like that. We'll figure that out when we get across the bridge, when we get to the bridge. Other leftist content creators have a strong opinion on them and others not so much. But in your opinion, do centrists and relativists pass the vibe check? I'm on the fence about them. How does one red pill their grandparents? I have no idea, honestly. Watch the Green Book with them or something. Tell them the government's gonna pull the plug on their SS unless they vote for ASC next year. What are some cool underground bands in the Seattle area music scene? Enum Claw. Why do you sound exactly like an extra from Rick and Morty? Please, every time you speak, I hear the Plumbus ad. This is not healthy. Okay, I got so many comments about this, and I just want to say, I really didn't even notice that I talk like that. I think it's just something I picked up a long time ago, probably literally watching Rick and Morty, but I think the stuttering is probably officially retired now. I don't want to be known forever as the Rick and Morty voice leftist YouTube guy. That's bad. I don't want it. That's not me. Spirit animal. Cat. Who are you, beautiful mustache boy, and why is YouTube pushing your video like my high school ex pushes Herbalife? Nice one. I'm Noah. Thanks for the nice comment about my mustache. The algorithm is pushing my video because I talked about a bunch of creators that have massive fan bases, and this started some conversations. That's my hypothesis, at least. If you could only eat one kind of food for the rest of your life, what food would it be and why? This, because it tastes good. But actually, though, probably some form of lamb. Probably soul food, actually. Soul food. Fried chicken, mashed potatoes, gravy, mac and cheese. Holy crap. Pretty sure you were at 9,000 when I subbed. Yeah, it's getting out of hand. Please, can you all unsubscribe, please? No, but I was at like 3,000 something last month, so weird. What's up with the mustache and how much for a ride on it? It's just a mustache. I don't know. And no rides right now. Do facts care about your feelings? That's what we're all here on Earth to figure out, isn't it? What's your favorite director if you're into movies? See my answer to question 6. How do you keep your hair looking so dang good? I get it cut before every video. In between videos, it looks like this. Life is full of illusions. What made you stop listening to Jordan Peterson's misogynistic nonsense? To be honest, when he started with the misogynistic nonsense, I never knew of him as that, but I just remember him as the self-help guy. That one interview where he insinuated that wearing makeup is a potential justification for sexual harassment in the workplace was the first and last straw. What made you change from shorter sketch comedy to longer, more focused videos? Discovering leftist video essays. I might go back to sketches one day or incorporate them. I just feel like I'm able to express more of what I'm feeling and thinking this way. With sketches, you kind of have to beat around the bush. Where's Waldo? Are they really still looking for that guy? Where would you classify yourself on the political spectrum? Fortnite, Among Us, Chungus, cartoon run sound, vine boom sound. What's your favorite comfort food? Southern kitchen, fried chicken, mashed potatoes, gravy, mac and cheese. What got you into politics? Life. How are you such a great person? I'm not, but thank you. Have any pets? Yeah. Serious polarizing question here. Pickle preference. Dill or an inferior decucumbering mixture of spices? Biased question. Fake news. Opinion on worker co-ops versus traditional shareholder business structures and how they relate to game development. That is a great question. From what I've read on co-ops, they're great. Mondragon and stuff. Shareholders and boards of directors generally seem to be kind of like shitheads. I'm not sure if restructuring in this way would do all that much to directly fix the sexism problems inherent to gaming industries, but maybe it would. People have been talking about these problems for literally decades, and maybe something like that is needed to get some form of accountability. Do you put chicken salt on chicken? I put salt and some other stuff when I make chicken, but I don't know if it's specifically chicken salt. I guess if you put salt on a chicken, it kind of becomes chicken salt. I knew it. I just fucking knew you had the potential to grow your channel, man. I'm so happy for you, my guy. I'm glad you're here with me on the journey. Thank you so much. How did you manage to bring back stashes single-handedly? I'm just that guy, I guess. I'm just a cool guy.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
I really have no idea. I just feel like I look weird without it. Who's the hottest leftist content creator? Me. Or Sean. Hello. Hi. What do you plan on doing with the mustache? Is it part of your persona, or do you genuinely want to keep it? It's probably a little bit of both. I just like the way it looks. I don't like not having it, and I'll probably have it for a long time, but who knows? Imperial or Stormcloak? I played Skyrim, but I don't even remember what I chose, so shame on me. You're like very attractive, an extremely charming balance between cute and handsome. I don't know if it's the stash or your clumsy style of comedic commentary, but I parasocially have a big crush on you now. Sorry I didn't have a question, I'm just here to thirst. You know, as difficult as that was to read out loud, I did say that I was gonna respond to every comment, so thank you. Don't be parasocial though, I'm a fake internet guy, I don't exist. Where can I buy a handsome mustache like yours? Store. Not a question, but flash the fluffy good girl the YouTube deserves to see her. Howdy Kate, one moment. I can't find her, but I'll cut in a clip now. We are besties. How old is the mustache? Is it biological or did you adopt? Love your vids, thanks. I think I started wearing one around 2017. I used to wear like different little goatees and stuff, but the stash, just something about it. What got you into VFX and glitch art? Has the pandemic deterred you in creating more art, or have you taken a break? I started out shooting music videos locally, trying to do a Cole Bennett lyrical lemonade kind of thing, and I noticed my visual effects were kind of lacking, so I dove in headfirst to learn. It's not the pandemic that's deterred me from doing more art. I don't think it's more, I've just shifted my focus to YouTube stuff. I still try to incorporate it sometimes into my titles and whatnot. As a fellow Sash brother, I gotta know, what is your daily grooming schedule for that luscious, thick, Tom Selleck endowed piece of fur on your maxilla? I just use a little beard butter, which is not a sponsor, and then I trim it every once in a while. How closely are you and Mike Racine related? Mike Racine. What's your favorite Renaissance artist? I don't know where that is, sorry. How's Johnny?
So, Johnny, what fruits do we have for us today?
Oscar fruit.
Are you genuinely optimistic about the future? Deep down, do you struggle with that? I do struggle with this, at least lately. I'd like to think I am, but it's difficult. There's a great video that I'd highly recommend from the YouTuber Anarch called Hope that definitely uplifted my spirits a little bit the other day. If you're going socialism doomer, then go check that out. Why did you leave out Destiny? I am officially retired from Debate Bros discourse, but there's a section at the beginning about it. Go check that out. What conservative trait, socially or economic, or even tradition do you admire/have? If any, that is. Cheers and congrats on 35K, chap. Thank you. And that's a great question. I like Clint Eastwood movies. How did you find my man RM Brown, and how long ago? Also, thanks for putting him in your video about leftist creators. He deserves more recognition. Someone commented on one of my videos saying that I reminded them of him. So of course I looked him up, and I was very pleasantly surprised. A cool channel, the funny guy. What or who has recently challenged your stance on a topic you thought you'd made up your mind about? I feel like I'm being challenged more and more each day as I'm following and paying attention to more diverse voices as far as on the left, because there are certain riffs that are very complex. They've been there for a long time, and so it's not as simple as deciding which ideology to pick and then going with it. It's like you kind of got to constantly be listening and hearing everybody out. I guess discovering a little while ago that social democracy doesn't work, or that it relies on imperialism and creating horrible things elsewhere in the world, and that long term no form of capitalism will work. But that's, you know, free market freaks. Go ahead, drop the comments in there. I don't care. I want war. I do read every comment, by the way, and respond to the mean ones too. It's something very deeply wrong with my soul, because it's like arguing with people that are just seem insane. It's like interesting. I'm like, why? This is a real human. Assuming it's not a bot, a real human is typing this stuff, and they think like this is good or normal or okay. So I'm just like, what's going on here? What's up with these people? Sorry, kind of a digression, but electoral politics and social democracy bad. That's the recent change in my mind. Now that the algorithm has blessed you, how will you fix TikTok?
There's no fixing that place. If I return, it will be to destroy it.
Dick or balls? This is very important. Scientists have been asking this for ages to no avail. In your opinion, does societal change come from the government or the individual's actions? Probably a little bit of both. I would lean more towards the latter, though. I have no idea. What's a good question we could ask you, and why? That's a good question, because I don't know the answer. What is your favorite book, series, film? Also, congrats. Cat's Cradle by Kurt Vonnegut is good. Dune, some other sci-fi. The Way of the Shadows is a book I like. Read that when I was younger, thought it was crazy. I don't have a favorite TV series, I don't think, but a favorite movie of mine, probably Nausicaa in the Valley of the Wind, or Heat, or Blade Runner 2049, or Phantom Thread. Yeah, I don't know. Too many good movies. Tell us about Mr. Chubby. Mr. Chubby is my former cat, Oscar. He was a cute lad and a good boy, but he turned into a bit of a perv in his later years, but I guess that's just kind of what happens to everybody, so I don't know if it's disrespectful to his legacy to mention that, but it's true. What's your feelings on Destiny? If you like him, watch him. You don't need my approval. You deserve good head. I feel like I have an alright one already. It's a little big. Do you travel for film work or stay local? If so, where was the coolest location? It's been a long time since I've traveled to film anything, but I love New York and Toronto. Tell us more about your cat. Found her again. So Babe is a rescue. She's getting old. She used to be really chubby, but now she's skinny because she's getting old. She's real grouchy. She pees a lot. She's extremely terrified of everybody except me, especially strangers. When I moved into the place that I'm at, it was just my grandma and her dog and Babe. And my grandma passed away recently and the dog moved to my dad's, and so now it's just me and Babe. We're besties and roommates. Sup, Dribbler? Are you planning on making more skits? Eventually, I'll probably incorporate them into YouTube. But yeah, who would you like to see as president in 2024? No president. 2024 no president challenge. I ask this guy a question. You sure do. Daddy, fuck. Where's the OnlyFans link? It's out there somewhere. How did you come up with your YouTube name? You'll have to ask my parents. What do you look for in a romantic partner? Needs to be able to goof around. This is a pretty standard question, but I'm wondering what equipment you're using for your recordings. So what camera and mic? I noticed you had a Snowball a few months ago and upgraded to something a lot better. Thanks. This is a Shure SM7B with a cloud lifter, and the audio interface is the Evo 4. It's a bit pricey, but you know, you can get the same stuff basically for a lot cheaper. And my camera is a Sony a6400. What are your hobbies? See my answer to question 33. How much time does it usually take to make one of your videos? What's your process of coming up with a video? The effort and money / time you put into your videos, and then the revenue you receive. Would you say that's sustainable for a small leftist creator of your size? Over the course of the past 3 months, which is the stretch of time I've actually kind of gone full go at YouTube, the time it's taken me to make videos has increased as the scope of the projects has. So the last video took me about 7 weeks, but that process will hopefully speed up as my writing process improves. Coming up with videos is usually just me finding some weird guys or stuff to talk about and make fun of. Recently though, if I see something going on, I just research into it and try to find a way to talk about it that I would think is interesting or funny. Sustainability wise, I'm not at that point. My channel isn't even monetized yet, actually. I'm hoping to get to a certain point on Patreon to fulfill basic needs and then donate the rest, and this will let me either run ads or keep them to a bare minimum. Legitimately, how did you get such a nice mustache? I'm envious. Grew it out of my face. Who are you? I'm me. What are your thoughts on the pirate movement? Started in Sweden in 2006, and pirate parties. I had no idea pirate parties were a thing. Would have loved an invite. Thanks very much. But I did use like LimeWire, uTorrent, allegedly, so it's probably making a resurgence as well, because 3,000 streaming services. So get your party hat ready. How do you keep your stash so luscious and thick? It keeps itself that way. I'm just the carrier. Do it fart?
You be squirting or you on the cream team? What color the inside? Your booty real wet? Do it clap? Do it fart? Do it grip the meat? Is it tight?
Are you a part of the LGBT community? Straight. Would you try ivermectin if it came in more flavors? That's a good question. What's under there? Nothing. Are you single? I am. Why is the mustache for? Thoughts on rad libs? I don't know. Spotify, maybe post on Patreon, me likey the house playlist. Actually, that's a great idea. I can put that in my notes for the Patreon for sure. Do you think it's okay to name the stash? Have you named the stash? Will you name the stash? When will you name the stash? No name yet, but I'm cool with submissions. So, have you ever tried making or considered releasing, have released any music? My actually first experience with posting content online was my friend and I made a diss track, a rap song in my high school, and it was just the most cringe and disgusting thing. But it popped off because we basically just made the song and said, that one girl you know, we don't like her. And everyone was like, oh my god, this is dramatic literature that is changing the earth in scary ways. High school's a nightmare. I used to enjoy making beats as well, but they always came out sounding the exact same, so I kind of stopped doing that after a while. Has Noel been sharing the means of production? I get a cameo every once in a while, so I'm cool with that. Does your profile picture look like Stalin on purpose or by accident? I'm not sure, but the person who made it is a very talented artist named Annabelle from my Discord, and I love it. But yeah, we could maybe get a red and yellow version as well. Will you be starting an OnlyFans? Will you be starting an OnlyFans? Are there good and bad people? Can one be inherently bad or good? Is punishment ever justified? No one is inherently bad or good. Depends on the punishment. Don't spank your kids. Positive reinforcement is good. Let's give mass murderers an ice cream cone when they don't mass murder as a treat. What do you look for in a parasocial relationship? Sorry, I don't. Stop it. Stop. What's your take on Hassan buying big house? Hassan house bad. Hassan house bad. Book recommendations? I can't read. No, but read Dune before the movie comes out. Do it, do it, do it, do it. Have you noticed a significant increase in pressure with your growing audience? Is fame something you have always expected for yourself in an idealistic rather than narcissistic way? And has the experience aligned with your expectations so far? Are you worried or excited about your future as an influencer? Pressure, definitely a little bit. But in the process of making this video now, I think I'm doing okay with the pressure aspect. I felt it a lot until I started writing. I think we all kind of generally in America have a sense that we'll be rich at some point in life because of something. I've probably had it in the back of my mind, but I've gotten stuck a lot over the past 4 years with regards to confidence of what I'm doing. To see it finally succeed is like, it doesn't seem like it would be possible because of how long it took me to figure out how to do it. Not that I'm saying I know how to do it. I think I'm extremely lucky what's going on with my channel right now. One thing that I've heard talked about, but I forgot until it's happening now, is when the number hits, like, it's 9,000, then it's 10,000. It's like, yeah, oh wait, no, get to 15 now in numbers of 5, and then, oh, we hit 20. Let's get to 30. And I guess that's just what life is now, which is sad. I need to decouple my sense of self-worth from number big. I just want to be able to pay my rent, to be honest. Pay my rent and maybe go on a vacation every once in a while. From your experience of working for, knowing of, and being friends/associates with artists and influencers and with audiences of varying sizes and dedication, have you noticed many interesting psychological challenges, personality changes, or other trends associated with this lifestyle, especially in relation to mental health and feelings of anxiety and fulfillment/self-actualization? In relation to this, would you recommend entering content creation or artistry that necessitates being intimately involved with a digital space and compulsory interaction with and cultivation of a critical audience and parasocial relationships? That needs to be a PhD dissertation, my friend. Most people trying to make content experience it in different forms, experience success and failure. And the hardest part is that period of time where there's really no validation, nor is there like a amount of valuable feedback that you can get to use to improve. It's sort of like the only reason I think I would have ever found any sort of success is being in a specific domain. So like for me, political left type stuff was very easy to see how I could contribute in whatever way. But when you are just kind of posting into the void, it's fucking depressing. So the parasocial relationships thing, I don't know. I got a few questions about that already in this, and I guess if you like my content, I really appreciate it, but I am a content creator. I don't know you, and I don't need random trauma offloaded onto me. That hasn't happened yet, but I've seen that happen. Don't need that. You can answer some of these questions on another platform, by the way. Okay? Vegan/vegetarian? No. Have you tried self-fellatiation? I would spell check that, but my mom checks my browser history. Overrated. Can you do the robot? Beep boop. You Drain Gang? Drain Gang. Favorite YouTubers when you were a kid? Didn't watch that much YouTube, to be honest. I guess Philip DeFranco. I don't know. I like the GoPro official channel, like the ones that posted the really cool action sports videos. Blue sky, snow squirting everywhere while they ski down the mountain. But that's it. Bobs or bum? I do not discriminate. What's it like having an awesome mustache? It's awesome. Bullied, bully, or bystander? I'm the guy in the movie that jumps in front of the school shooter and saves the really cute girl that I've been trying to smooch, and takes a bunch of bullets and grabs the gun and kills the guy, and then I almost die, like barely, almost don't die, but then I wake up from a coma like a year later, and the girl that I've been waiting to smooch has gotten married and has like 6 kids, and then I just have the doc pull the plug. Ever tried or been interested in stand-up? I have gone up to open mics, and it makes me extremely nervous, and I get really anxious in front of crowds, and maybe if I practiced, I could see myself pursuing it, but social anxiety means do video in room by self with cat and no crowd, boo. If you could live anywhere, where? I don't know, somewhere by the beach, in the mountains, something like that. Did you do jazz ballet as a kid? I did ballet, actually. Funny story. I think I might have a photo of it somewhere. I'll try and look. Favorite Vine? Spoon. Big spoon guy. Guy has big spoon. What weird game have you dedicated too much time to at some point in your life? League of Legends. It's most disgusting game. That and MapleStory. I played MapleStory so much as a kid, like all day. I would stay home from school just to plug in that PIN number and enter the game and farm some mushrooms. That game's so like nostalgic now. Day in the life. Wake up at 2 p.m., stay in bed, checking my phone, go pee when I get out of the bed, not in my bed, and then eat some yogurt and some granola with a banana and some strawberry sliced in there. At about 6 p.m., go up to my computer, start editing for whatever person I have to edit for. Finish at like 1 a.m. and then game. Yeah, something like that. Sorry, I'm really tired. This is taking a very long time. It's over 100 questions. Do you miss the long hair? I don't. Yeah, I don't either. I like having it look like something. When I had the bun, it was just like I looked like I may as well have been bald. Please never remove the childhood videos and questionable sketches. I don't think I will. Season 2 of Ween Show when? Tangentially related question. Are the rumors true that the Netflix has picked up the Ween Show? You two message each other and figure it out yourselves.
Episode 2 of the Ween Show.
Gonna cry? Piss your pants maybe? Maybe shit. Yeah. Still a stoner? Never was. Hey bestie, what color are your eyeballs? Mostly white. There's some black right in here in the middle. And then there's a little bit of brown on around that side part. Okay, that's it, folks. The Q&A is done. Thanks so much for submitting questions. If you have any more or any YouTubers you want to add to that list I made, go ahead and comment. I will add them to the description. And besides that, thanks again to my patrons for making this video possible. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye now.